All right, listen up. This is a Code Ninja security advisory for CVE 2026-3502. I need your full and undivided attention on this one. Okay, let's get right to it. This is an urgent briefing because we are tracking a live zero-day vulnerability. It's in the TrueConf client for Windows. And let me be crystal clear. This is not some theoretical what-if scenario. We've confirmed hard evidence that this is being actively exploited out in the wild, right now.
So let's walk through the timeline, because this is where it gets really concerning. The campaign, which we're calling Operation TrueChaos, actually kicked off way back in early 2026, targeting government entities. But the CVE, that didn't even get published until March 30th. Public disclosure a day later, CISA jumps on it, adds it to the KEV catalog, and sets a deadline for April 16th. But here's the kicker, the really crucial point. The bad guys had weeks, maybe even months, of free runway before we, the defenders, even knew this thing existed. That's a massive intelligence gap.
And this question really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? That's exactly what's happening here. We're not talking about some brute force attack on the firewall. No. This is far more insidious. They've weaponized a trusted process, your software updates. They're not kicking down the front door. They're poisoning the water supply from the inside.
Okay, hold on. Before we dive into the deep technicals, we're initiating a comms check. It is absolutely critical that everyone here is linked into the secure channel. You need to be getting these updates in real time.
Step 1, subscribe to this intelligence feed. That's at cybertech79. And you have to enable all notifications. Think of this as your early warning system. In this line of work, it's not just a good idea, it's an operational necessity.
Step 2, I need you to hit like on this briefing. Now, this isn't for vanity metrics. We're treating that like as a formal acknowledgement, an ACK. It tells us you've received this critical intel and helps us confirm that the signal is getting out there.
And finally, step 3, report your status in the comments. Just drop a simple patched or vulnerable. Why? Because this gives us, the entire community, a real-time picture of the blast radius. We're all in this together. We defend as a network.
All right, comms check complete. Good. Let's get into the threat analysis. We're going to tear apart this vulnerability and see exactly what makes Operation TrueChaos tick.
So what's the root of the problem? It all boils down to what we call CVE-2026-3502. In plain English, it means the software downloads an update and then just runs it. No questions asked. It doesn't do the basic cryptographic check to verify if the package is legit. It's a complete, fundamental failure of the chain of trust, and it's basically leaving the front door wide open for malicious code to walk right in, disguised as a normal update.
Okay, so here's the blast radius. Pay attention. If you are running TrueConf client for Windows, anything from version 8.1.0 all the way through 8.5.2, you are vulnerable, period. The patch is in version 8.5.3.8.8.4 and anything newer. Let's be real simple about this. If your version number is lower than that, you are exposed right now.
Now, the official CVSS score is a 7.8, which is rated high. But I need you to listen to me very carefully. For a zero-day that is actively being exploited in the wild, a score of 7.8 dramatically, and I mean dramatically, underestimates the real operational risk here. A threat that is live and in use is always a 10 out of 10 in my book. Forget the paper score, focus on the reality.
So how does this attack actually work? Let's walk the chain. Step 1. The attacker gets a foothold on an on-prem TrueCom server. Step 2. They find a legitimate update package and they swap it out with their own malicious payload. Step 3. The client's phone home for an update, download this poison package, and because there's no integrity check, they just trust it completely and execute it. And the result? Boom! The attackers get arbitrary code execution, they bypass user account control, and they drop the Havoc C2 implant. It's game over for that machine.
Okay, enough analysis. Time for action. This is the Defender Directive. Your instructions are simple and they are immediate.
Burn this number into your brain. 8.5.3884. That's it. That is the only number that matters. Every single TrueConf Windows client under your watch needs to be on this version or higher. I mean right now. No excuses, no delays, no exceptions.
And if you need any more motivation, just look at this. CISA has added it to their Known Exploited Vulnerabilities catalog, the KEV. That means all federal agencies are mandated to patch this by April 16th. Now, if you're in the private sector, don't think you have until then. You need to treat this with the same urgency. A KEV entry is the official signal that a vulnerability has crossed the line from theoretical to actively getting people hacked.
All right, for all you incident response and threat hunting teams out there, time to go to work.
Start hunting for these IOCs immediately. We're seeing artifacts like poweriso.exe, 7zx64.dll, and iscsicpl.exe. You need to be looking for that malicious updater process and check the registry for this specific persistence mechanism. Light up your EDRs and start sweeping for these indicators right now.
Look, I get it. Sometimes patching immediately isn't possible. So if you absolutely cannot patch right this second, you need to deploy compensating controls. First, cut off network access to your TrueConf update servers. Lock it down. Second, enforce strict network segmentation and use application allow listing. And most critically, set up monitoring for this specific execution chain. You're looking for TrueConf.exe spawning the malicious updater. The goal here is containment. Stop the bleeding until you can perform the surgery. Okay, one last thing. I want to say a word about why we do this, why we bring a zero-day like this out into the open. It's important you understand the protocol.
People always ask the question, why make this public? Aren't you just arming the attackers? And the answer is simple, no, because the attackers were already armed. They already had the weapon. They were already using it.
We operate on a principle called coordinated vulnerability disclosure. This wasn't a theoretical flaw we found in a lab. This was an active, in-the-wild zero-day exploitation. The threat was already out there, so our disclosure isn't for the attackers, it's for you. It's to give defenders like you the intelligence you need to protect your networks. It puts public pressure on the vendor to get a fix out the door fast, and it lets the entire community, all of us, respond together. We do this to arm the defenders.
That's the briefing. You have your directives. Get to work. Stay secure.